Namaste nerds, it's Navanad, Budget Pub Stomper, and today I'm going to be talking to you about this guy here from Avatar. I have no idea what his name is. Bumi, Balmy. You know what he looks like to me? He looks kind of like the Mad Hatter. Can you guys see that? Like his face looks like the Mad Hatter. Like mostly I think I'm thinking of Johnny Depp's character, the Mad Hatter, from Alice in Wonderland. So let's go with that. We're going to call this guy the Hatter. Madman. So Bumi Unleashed here. What does he do? He is well, I'll tell you what he does, honestly, is he surprises the shit out of me. I was not expecting much out of this guy. Honestly, I was building the deck as a special Thanksgiving treat to y'all, and I just thought he looked a little bit Christmassy. He's red and green, and the last time I did a special edition, I used a Gruul commander, so I was kind of going to stick with that tradition. And I know he's got a one-card combo, and I thought, good enough. We'll give it a go. But this guy has surprised me quite a lot. Like the deck that I've built here, and I've iterated on it a good bit, but I think we've ended up with something truly powerful here. Now, I mean, obviously, if you just have a one-card combo with your commander, it can only be so bad. But it is 10 mana, but it is in Gruul. You've got your mana dorks, your rituals, and it's split up across, 2 turns most of the time. So let's read the commander. Mad Hatter Unleashed is 5 mana, 3 and Gruul for a 5/4 trample, and it says when Johnny Depp, Mad Hatter, when Johnny Boy enters the battlefield, we're going to Earthbend 4. Now, what is Earthbend? God, read it, guys. It's just this weird, wackadoo, out-of-control, Mad Hatter-esque, dare I say, ability that just has all kinds of wonky stuff you can do with it. But what it is in, I guess, English is when it ETBs, you Earthbend 4, you're going to untap one of your lands. You're going to put 4+1/+1 counters on it. So your land is going to become a 4/4 creature with haste. And it's not indestructible. It's that if it were to be destroyed or exiled, it comes back into play. Not as a 4/4 creature, but you get your land back. So you don't have to worry about getting blown out by earthbending a land and having somebody hit it with the Swords to Plowshares. It's just going to come back as a land, and you didn't lose anything. Okay, so it says he enters, we earthbend one of our lands, and then he says, whenever Johnny Boy deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Only land creatures can attack during that combat phase. And so what does that mean? That means, obviously, we're going to jam this deck full of man lands, and we're going to beat people to death with lands, right? Wrong. We are for sure not doing that. People are building this as a landfall commander. I think that's just a big fat trap, and you should be able to see through that. I mean, it says land on the commander, but outside of that, I mean, you've got some cross synergies with the landfall mechanic, but this guy does not want to be a landfall commander. He doesn't really want to be an extra combat commander, although I want to say you could put aggravated assault in the deck, and that would be really good, and you could look to go infinite combo combat that way. But that's a lot of the budget if you're building a budget deck. It's a lot of mana, and it's very hard to tutor. In fact, you get exactly gamble if you want to put the budget aside for that. So we're not doing that. Plus, we've got a creature, same mana value, that does the same thing. So Ashaya, Soul of the Wild, says, all of your dudes are lands. Forests, to be precise. Well, okay, I'll read the card. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. So that means if we have Ashaya and we have Johnny Boy will be a land. And Johnny Boy normally, when he hits somebody and untaps all of your lands, and I think that's the right way to think about the deck. We're not really thinking about his second ability as giving us an extra combat step. We're thinking of it as untapping all of our lands. He's going to be like a mana engine. That's what he really is. He's a combo piece and he's a mana engine. But in the context of Ashaya, he is not just an extra combat or another extra combat. He's basically infinite combats. I mean, there's some situations that could come up where it won't work out. But if you've built your deck for it, and if you've thought the situation out, and if you've played correctly, because remember, all of your guys are going to be creatures that are also lands, so you're going to be able to attack with all of your dudes. As long as you can get through, as long as you can touch one person with your commander, Ashaya will win you the game with all of your other guys, with all your other dudes, with all your other bros. So Johnny and Ashaya are an A plus B combo. Yes, it's 10 mana, but we're in Gruul. So we have dorks, we have rituals, we have mana batteries, we have all kinds of fun stuff to make that 10 mana just not seem like all that much. I thought the deck was going to be a little bit slower than it is, but it's closing out games pretty quick. So I mean, that's what I normally do, right? I show you the commander, I tell you what he does, and then I tell you the main win lines. That's it. That's the end of the video. You guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey day, just as much as the turkeys did. I don't eat meat, so I never talk about it. I'm not a big, but, just I'm not going to be a part of all that. Anyway, on your turkey day, which I think we should just call, Bird Holocaust Day, bunch of Hitlers, on this holiday special, are you guys feeling the holiday love, the season, the season, what do they call season joy, the season bliss? There should be a term like that. I'm going to coin it. Johnny and myself are bringing you season bliss with Ashaya. That's not the only thing the deck's going to do, though. And that was honestly where I kind of got a little bit stuck in the beginning. It's like, well, what does the guy do other than just this A plus B one-card combo, which is a lot. Having a one-card win condition with your commander is pretty damn big, but it's not really obvious how the rest of this is going to unfold or work out until you start playing with the deck. So I slapped in kind of like all the Gruul staples and just started playing with it. And eventually I realized some things. And what are some of the things that we're going to do with the commander outside of this Ashaya and Johnny combo? Well, the other stuff we're going to do, we do have some more infinite combos. Should I go into that first? Let's go into that first. Okay, so let's just say your friends, if you can call them that, if they're not going to just let you get a simple A plus B off, they decide not to let you get a simple A plus B combo off. And they've decided that they're going to just murder your commander, play a Drannith Magistrate, or murder your commander 17 times, lock it under an oubliette, whatever. You don't have access to your commander. Are we just dead in the water? No, we've got some other things to do. So what are some other things to do? Well, we've got, since we're playing Ashaya, it's not that difficult to get at least an infinite mana combo in the deck along with the Ashaya. So I am playing Quirion Ranger, and we'd have some big mana dorks, and we've got the Hyrax Tower Scout, we've got a Temur Sabertooth. So there's lots of ways you can make infinite mana. And then you've got some ways that if you can go infinite mana. Okay, so a way to go infinite mana would be Ashaya says all your guys are lands, forests in particular. Quirion Ranger says that if you return a forest to your hand, you get to untap a dude. So you can have your Ashaya and your Quirion Ranger in play with an Elysian Caryatid, which will tap for 2 mana if you control a 4/4 or greater, which you do because you have your Ashaya. So you'll tap the Elysian Caryatid for 2 mana. Then you'll return your forest, being the Quirion Ranger itself, to your hand to untap the Elysian Caryatid, and then you will tap it for 2 mana using one of those manas to recast your Quirion Ranger, and you will go infinite mana that way. And then you just need an outlet, and man, this deck is hungry for outlets. You'd be surprised, and I think you will be surprised if you play the deck, just how much extra mana this guy makes. Plus, on the road to getting to 10 mana, 5 mana, but 5 mana or 10 mana, lots of mana to do these big Gruul things, you're going to end up with a lot of mana production. So having mana outlets just makes sense in the deck. I mean, really, if I could play 3 or 4 Duskwatch Recruiters, I would in this deck. We need the mana sinks. So if we have the infinite mana and we have a Duskwatch Recruiter, we are able to pay 3 mana to look at the top 3 cards of our library, reveal a creature card, and then put that in your hand. Use your infinite mana to cast that creature. And basically you will just put all of your creatures into play, and win the game like that. Now, if you're post-combat or your guys don't have haste, which I guess they won't, what you'll actually do to win the game if pressed, I mean, mostly people are just going to see infinite mana outlet, and they're going to scoop it up, and rightly so because they're dead. But if they press the issue, what you can do is you can get your Kogla out and return your Hyrax Tower Scout to your hand, because that's a human, and then recast it and bring it back to your hand and recast it. No, that's not going to do anything. That's another way to get to infinite mana. So if you have Karametra as Acolyte, we wanted to talk about the infinite mana combos. I think that's a perfectly legitimate segue. Don't judge me. Your Karametra's Acolyte with a Kogla and a Hyrax Tower Scout, or your Karametra's Acolyte with a Temur Sabertooth and a big mana door. No, Karametra's Temur Sabertooth, Hyrax Tower Scout can go infinite mana. Yeah, so we've got infinite mana outlets. If we spew all of our creatures into play, another infinite mana outlet we have is Beast Whisperer. If we're doing our Quirion Ranger where we're bouncing it to our hand and replaying it and bouncing it and replaying it, we're going to draw our deck with Beast Whisperer. If we're doing the Hyrax Tower Scout thing, we're going to be replaying our Hyrax Tower Scout over and over and draw our deck with Beast Whisperer. So we're going to put all our dudes in play. One of our dudes is going to be Temur Sabertooth and or Kogla. So say we've got both of these guys in play because we put all of our creatures into play. One of our creatures is Eternal Witness. There he is. Eternal Witness, when we cast our Ewit, we're able to put our Beast Within back into our hand. So we're going to draw our Beast Within because we're drawing our deck. And you say, nah, now wait a second. What if we just have the infinite mana outlet that is Duskwatch Recruiter? Then we don't draw our deck, we just put all of our creatures into play. Well, Beast Whisperer is a creature which will allow you to draw your entire deck. So once you've drawn your entire deck, you will necessarily have a Beast Within in hand. So you will aim this Beast Within at the most important permanent in play, and you'll blow it up. Then you will use your Temur Sabertooth to return your Kogla to your hand, and your Kogla is on the battlefield because you either drew your deck or put all of your creatures into play, and he's in the deck, so you'll have him. And you're going to return the Kogla to your hand with the Temur Sabertooth. Then you're going to drop the Kogla back into play, and you're going to fight the 3/3 token that you left behind when you blew up the most important permanent in play. You're going to repeat that over and over and over. So you're basically going to loop your Beast Within by bouncing your Eternal Witness to your hand, recasting it, picking up the Beast Within, blowing up a permanent, doing it again. You're going to just keep doing the Ewit, bouncing it, replaying it, bouncing it, replaying it. Picking up that Beast Within, blowing up all the permanents in play that are not your own, and then you're going to fight them all one by one with Kogla, the Titan Ape, and then if your opponents still want to fight, you've got all of your dudes in play, you can say, let's fight. And I think, is there a way to go, is there just a way to infinitely just end the game on the spot, like literally? Probably, but it doesn't really matter. You've won the game. And then, well, I guess what you could do, as long as it is pre-combat, is you're going to have all of your cards, you're going to have all the mana. You can use your Kiki-Jiki with your Hyrax Tower Scout. You will play the Hyrax Tower Scout. So if you've got Kiki-Jiki and Hyrax Tower Scout, Kiki-Jiki lets you tap it to create another Hyrax Tower Scout. Tower Scout token. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Tower Scout token. Okay. So our Hyrax Tower Scout will come into play, untapping our Kiki-Jiki, and then we will tap the Kiki-Jiki to make a copy of the Hyrax Tower Scout. Then the next copy will come into play and untap our Kiki-Jiki, which will allow us to tap it again to make another Hyrax Tower Scout, flooding the board with infinite dudes that all have haste, and we can murder the table that way. So suffice to say, if you have an outlet and you have infinite mana, you win the game. If you have your Bumi with your Ashaya, you win the game. And if you can get to your Hyrax Tower Scout and your Kiki-Jiki the old-fashioned way, which I would say would be with... Where is it? There it is. They changed the art. Shared summons, so you can instep a shared summons, which will be very easy to do because you can actually, in this deck, you can proactively play out your guys. You can do your thing, assemble your battlefield, but because you get to have an untap step with all of your lands, you can leave mana open. So we really want to be kind of an interactive Gruul deck. So I did put quite a lot that we can do at instant speed to fuck up our friends' battlefields for fun and profit. But the most fun thing we can do is shared summons with our extra mana on in-step, getting 2 creatures, one of which will be Kiki-Jiki and the other will be Hyrax Tower Scout. Or a Shaya and Quirion Ranger, or really just a Shaya, because as long as it isn't the nightmare scenario where all of our friends beat up our commander a bunch of times, as long as we get these 2 guys in play, we win the game. Now there are some, I was going to say there's some deadish cards, but there's really not dead cards in the deck. The closest things to dead cards are going to be Hyrax Tower Scout and Temur Sabertooth. But the deck works in a way, let's see, how do I want to say this? There's tons, I'm going to just check the time and check on this dog. I think you guys are probably getting driven as nuts as I am by my damned dog. Thank God for the pause feature. Sorry about the interruption. That was my dog's a pit bull, was a pit bull. I had to take care of business. I'm just kidding. I didn't kill my dog. I did tie her up, locked her on I didn't do none of that. But she's quiet now. So back to whatever the hell I was saying. Temur Sabertooth seems like a dead card, but really isn't all that dead in the deck because we've got lots of ways to use a Temur Sabertooth. We are going to have a land that is begging us to sacrifice it. And so I don't want to disappoint that land. And so I am, although like I said, we're not actually like a landfall deck. We are playing cards like Intish Restoration. This is perfect for this deck, right? So picture the scene. We've got our commander that's a 5/4. And we've got a land that if we get rid of it, will enter the battlefield. It'll come right back. And this says sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, and we do, then you're instead going to search your library for 3 basic land cards. You're going to put those onto the battlefield. Now they're going to be tapped, right? But then we're going to attack with our commander, and we're going to get to untap them all. That's sick, right? So we had to play that. How else are we going to be taking advantage of our commander? So just by way of having untapped lands, we're going to be running a bunch of interaction. We're going to be saving our own stuff. We're going to be blowing up our opponent's stuff. We're going to be doing both. But we're also playing a bunch of lands like Ghost Quarter that have specific synergy with not being able to actually die. Well, the first time. The depletion lands, Hickory Woodlot, Sandstone Needle, these are just cards that I think are fantastic to begin with. But how much more when once you have to sacrifice. So they say they enter the battlefield tapped, but they have 2 depletion counters. And if you tap it to remove a depletion counter, it adds 2 mana to your mana pool. So the turn after you play it, usually, it's going to be a soul land. And you're going to get to use it 2 times, usually. But in this deck, we actually could have our commander ETB and turn our Sandstone Needle into an Earthbent 4/4. And so now we can use those depletion counters not twice, but 4 times, because we'll use it twice, it'll die, and then it comes back into the battlefield. And not only that, but when we play these, they normally come into play tapped. Well, it is going to come into play tapped, but with our commander, if we play it pre-combat, we can go to combat, hit with our commander, and untap our Sandstone Needle. So these are like really just very good in this deck exactly. I mean, they're good anyway, but they're specifically good in this deck. Also, some of the things like Thram Portal, where normally the liability with this type of a land is that late in the game, it's often going to come in tapped. But in this deck, while it might come into play tapped, when you go to combat with your commander, it's going to untap it, or you might just play your commander and right away untap it, and then go to combat with or without the Thram Portal, but then get to untap all of your lands again. So you can get a lot of mileage out of lands that would normally ETB tapped, but they have some benefit, and you get a lot of extra mileage out of lands that that sacrifice, that die. and hickory woodlot and sandstone needle are both of those things. There's so much to talk about in this deck, but I think a lot of people have been talking to me in the comments about doing goldfishing, and I think maybe I should just show you. I found out that doing a second goldfish video on a deck just doesn't get views. People just don't watch it. But let me just talk real quick about some of the other ways we're going to be breaking the ability that isn't the one card combo Ashaya. So we're playing these creatures, Orin Frostfang type creatures. Frostfang, Professional Facebreaker, and Toski. So we're going to be going to combat, attacking for value, but most of the time when you use an Orin Frostfang or a Toski Bear of Secrets, you're using a lot or all of your mana to cast that one thing, or a lot of your mana anyway, to cast that one thing. And then when you go to combat and you draw 3 cards, say, you're not going to be able to use those cards that you just drew in combat. But because of our commander's ability to untap all of our lands post-combat, the cards that we draw with Orin Frostfang, Toski, potentially Professional Facebreaker, burning the treasures and turning them into card advantage, we'll actually be able to utilize that card advantage by untapping our lands after combat. So we wanted to have mana sinks in the deck. So I know this is like a landfall, terrible casual card, but guys, I've been goldfishing with this a lot. This thing does work. We often have, 3-4 untapped lands and nothing to do with them. But not as often now as when I first started playing the deck, because I did, try to work on that. Playing more instant speed stuff and introducing more mana sinks, and nothing sinks mana like a clue token every time a land enters the battlefield. And you're going to make lots of clue tokens because you're not just getting the one land that you play every turn, you're also getting it to re-trigger when you sacrifice your land that you Earthbent to an Orcish Lumberjack to make 4 mana, for instance, because then it comes back into play, triggers your tire tracks again, making another clue. And those clues are really big in the deck. I promise. Test it out. You will not be disappointed. Yeah, okay, so let's get into it. Oh yeah, Orcish Lumberjack is fucking off the hook in this deck. It's an off the hook card in the first place. How is it 63 cents? I don't know. I think casual players maybe are just a little bit scared, like big fat scaredy cats. But you're not, and I'm not. We're not. So Orcish Lumberjack is in this deck because it's always busted, but it's particularly busted in the context of this deck. There's other tricks you can do with it, but let's do some freaking goldfishing. It's the holidays, and I'm down for some holiday. What do we arrive on? What do we call it? Holiday cheer? I'm in the mood for some holiday cheer. All right, let's do some playtesting. Yay, playtesting. All right. We do want to discard whatever we had before. Is this a keepable hand? Yeah. Yeah, that's a plenty keepable hand. We'll play this, sure. We get a lot of playable hands in this deck too. Maybe I'm not being... Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you about the stacks package. There's a stacks package. The only artifact mana that we're playing in the entire deck is Soul Ring, because you'd have to be out of your mind to not play Soul Ring. Other than that, Collector Oof does not affect us. So that's freaking sick, right? We're a Collector Oof deck and a hell of one. I thought we would need it because I thought the deck was going to be slow. I think the deck actually is not slow. The deck's pretty quick. Well, it's fast. I mean, it's fast enough. It's fast enough. And it's interactive enough. We've got interaction in the form of interactive creatures and stacks, and we do have a nice little stacks package. And Collector Roof and Lightning Bolts and Bolt Blasts and, or what is it called? Bolt Bends. We've got a lot. We've got tons. Oh, I don't have a fucking forest. That's fine. We've got this guy. All right, so we're going to go turn 1, drop this thing, and go to a second turn. Hey. Welcome to Team Never Punished. What are we going to do with this second turn? Probably we would go 1, 2, 3, Manglehorn. Guys, People are not going to like that. And then the funny thing is, once they find a way to deal with our Manglehorn, we're going to slap the real threat down, the collector oof, you know? Yeah, so I think we do that. We could, or do we just, no, that's what we do. I said it, I'm staying with it. So then we'll go, and this is going to buy us time. This thing slows a lot of decks down in a big way. Anybody that's playing rocks, it's slowing them down, and that's pretty much everybody but us. And aside from that, we blew up an artifact when it came into play. And a lot of your opponents just aren't going to be able to do their game plan. Like if they're playing Magda, it's going to slow them down. If they're playing Malcolm, it's going to have a huge impact. Manglehorn, most Malcolm decks can't even win through a Manglehorn. Not easily. I guess you could do Niv-Mizzeti things, but I digress. Let's get on with it. So this is turn 3. How much mana do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's the thing. Do we want to play our commander on turn 3? If we don't, then we'll be able to, if we wait until next turn, we would be able to use our we can use our commander on the Sandstone Needle. Fuck it. Let's just, I don't feel like thinking. Let's do the easy thing. Burn this thing. This probably is wrong. But we're just goldfishing. It's not like we're going to lose. We get our commander in play. And we... Yeah, this really could fuck us. If we don't hit another land, we are in trouble, actually. Maybe I should have done the other thing. Huh. No, fuck it. We said it. We're doing it. Oh, God. Yeah, we're going to get punished. We're going to get hard punished. Okay, so now... normally we would just deploy our stuff and we would drop our lands and we would harrow and we'd just be in a freaking great place. But we're not in a great place. We're in Painville. That's where we are. We are in Painville. We just need one more mana. Why did I get greedy? Well, I guess we're going to cast this and we're going to hope that we can make up for lost time on next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we had lands coming. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this Toski. I'm just kidding. We're going to get a land. Is there anything special? I think there's nothing more special than a command tower. Yeah, playing our commander out a turn early probably cost us a turn. Oh, well. It's just a goldfish. Bottom this, bottom this. Okay. And we'll play out our thing, and we will tap... this is turn 4, so I haven't gone to combat yet. Yeah, we'll tap this 1 mana to play this. We will go to combat. We will swing with our Bumi. We'll bash somebody. And we will untap all of our lands. And then we will cast a Harrow. 1, 2, 3. You starting to see this now? Is it starting to come together? Am I painting the picture? We're going to cast a Harrow, sacrificing this land. But it's earthbent, so it's just going to come right back into play. And we will search our library for 2 lands. And let's just get a forest to the battlefield and a mountain to the battlefield. And then we will have these 2 lands. And we will cast a fucking collector roof. Your opponents are not going to like that. We'll go to our next turn. Sure, why not? Fucking Bonders Enclave. Sure. So now we're ready to grind. We're not really going to grind, but this is another really good mana sink. If we have our commander out, that's when we need the mana sink. And Bonders Enclave is fits that bill perfectly. I asked my Discord for Gruul mana sinks, and a fat lot of fucking good that did me. I think I got 0 answers. Can you believe it? So what do we want to do here? So we can cast this shared summons and then have 2 creatures go to combat. We can play our 2 creatures. Is there a way to just win the game now? Probably. We've got the no, because we'd need a big mana dork, which would just have summoning sickness. Yeah, no, I think at this point in the game, I think we're pretty committed to the grind. We've got, even if they killed one of our dudes, we have 2 damning stacks pieces out. We've blown up a thing. think would probably still be in the game. We could do our Temur Sabertooth and start bouncing the Temur and dropping the Manglehorn back down. Although if we've got the Collector Roof in play still, that's not really anything. So probably we would draw a card and then go to combat. So we go 1, 2, 3, and a tap to draw a card. That's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah. And then we would go to combat. Surely there's somebody we can hit with a Bumi. And then we will untap all of our lands. And then we will look to win on our next turn, most likely. Because we'll, I mean, you could if you had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, we're one short of us. No, that's, yeah. So you could drop a Kogla on somebody's commander if they're about to win. Yeah, you could drop this on somebody's ass for sure. So this is kind of your fork in the road. There's no way to know what the right answer would be. But we could Kogla somebody on this turn. And then on our next, so we could drop this guy into play, murder somebody's commander, or kill the thing that's about to kill everybody. Pretty interactive for a Gruul deck, right? And then on our next turn, we could, on our first, our first untap step, our first turn with lands, we could play this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we could bounce the Kogla, and then we could drop the Kogla down again, and we could start doing those types of shenanigans. But the other thing we would do is in step, just rip a shared summons and get our Ashaya, or if there's some problem with the Ashaya, we just get another combo. All right, let's run it back. How are we doing on time? Not bad. Do again. Yeah, this is fine-ish. This is fine. We don't have a forest for the Utopia Sprawl. That sucks. I think it's fine. We'll draw. Maybe this just comes out for a forest. Yeah, we've got a tutor. We've got just about everything we need. Turn 2, and then we're gonna go to a turn 3. Oh, that's another little shenanigan. We can Infernal Plunge the creature that we make with Bumi, and it just comes back, so it's just a red Dark Ritual. And maybe we've got Tire Tracks out, and we get an extra trigger from that, or what have you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we played this out first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think we're just gonna go for the commander, and I think it actually kind of. I can't believe we don't have a forest yet. We play a lot of forests in this deck, which is another nice little synergy. Put the Utopia Sprawl on the land that you're gonna use as your attacker guy. And then also you get to use the Utopia Sprawl twice a turn. It all came together nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Commander in play. Now this taps for 2 mana. And yeah, this is fine. What are we going to turn into a creature? Don't think it matters much. This. That's 1, 2, 3. If we had, do we want to just do this? No. We can't go into it. So I was trying to think if we want to just rip the Ashaya, because we could actually do this taps for 2 mana now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, and then this would just come back into play. 5 would cast Ashaya. The Summoner's Pact, best tutor in the deck, I think. For this deck. Summoner's Pact could find our Ashaya, so we could put the combo together, but we wouldn't be able to go to combat, so it wouldn't do us any good. So we'll just go to our turn 4 and win. Man, yeah, look at all this. I think I am going to cut that. There's a lot of reasons in this deck to have basic lands. I think I'm playing a lot of them, but I want to check that. Make sure you play enough basics in this deck. The deck actually does, it is kind of hungry for basics because we're harrowing, we're Intish Restorationing, we are Cinder Glazing, we are Utopia Sprawling, so on and so forth, etc., etc. So yeah, that sucks that we whiffed on this, but it doesn't suck as bad as it might in other decks, because at least when we play this tapped, once we go to combat and hit somebody with this, it untaps, right? So it's not like, I mean, it doesn't matter, we're just winning now, but in case we don't, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 and a Shia. Okay, so we cast our Summoner's Pact, we get our Shia, and we win. We win the game, Getting kind of choosy here. I don't even remember what that would be. Was I on a... This is a 6, I believe. So this would be Wild Growth. So we go turn 1, Wild Growth. Turn 2, Fauna Shaman. Or turn 2, this. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Not bad. Gotta put something away. Probably the Temur Sabertooth. Oh, no. We need to keep the Temur Sabertooth, because we're going to need to discard it with the Fauna Shaman. Yeah, we'll put this away. Draw a card. That's our turn 1. Turn 2 is going to be 1, 2, 3 mana. Will be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. And next turn, so turn 3, I was hoping we'd be able to play our commander without tapping this. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we can't. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so turn 3 tends to be when our commander comes down. So now here's the kind of interesting puzzle. We either have to use this as our untapped land or not. And if we do, then we won't be able to do future shenanigans with it. I think that's fine. Yep, this will be the guy that we... Yeah, we'll Earthbend this, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. Well, hell, now we actually could develop a Temur Sabertooth if we thought it mattered. Or no, we just do this 1, 2, or leave that up, at least threaten interaction. 1, 2 for this, and then we go to our turn 4 and look to win. Tap like this to discard a card. Yeah, probably this. Get the Ashaya. I did it with capital letters, so Moxfield knows I'm not fucking around, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ashaya. GG's? Probably. Most likely. Good chunk of the time. And if not, we'll get them next turn. You know, like sometimes this actually won't just win the game on the spot, although it often will, probably usually will. We haven't thrown out any kind of interaction this game, so maybe not. But even if not, we would at least be able to go to combat and get to untap all of our lands, which is all of our guys, and get an additional combat. But before the additional combat, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. See. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and drop this on somebody's ass. Or drop this and get to grinding, like really grinding, drawing a bunch of cards. That's it. That's the deck. That's what we do. And you know, like I've definitely tested the deck out past turn 4, 5, 6, and it can hang in there. This deck has staying power. You know, I've done the gold fishing sessions where it's like, okay, what if things do go wrong? What if my Ashaya gets counterspelled? I mean, most of the time when I'm testing a deck, that's how I'm testing it, when I'm gold fishing it. And the thing does go into super grind mode. Like, just for example here, let's just say that somebody kills our Ashaya. I don't remember if we've attacked yet this turn or not. I assume not because this guy isn't tapped, so yeah, definitely not. Okay, so we go to combat. Wait, did I say this guy get... What did I... Yeah, this guy got killed, but then I... This guy got killed, but then I didn't kill the guy. That was tapped. Okay. So we go to combat. We've got our Oran Frostfang that we just played, I think. So we attack with these two guys. And likely, since they both have Death Touch, we can find somebody who's not going to be real keen on blocking them. And we'll draw 2 cards. 1, 2. And then we untap all of our lands. And now we get to actually play out the cards that we drew during combat, which is big. That's a big difference. That makes a huge difference. We play the artifact in the deck. No, the artifact mana in the deck. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam. We Kogla somebody. So this is damage that we're doing. And we're hellbent, right? So you think, well, yeah, but you're out of the game anyway. But we're not, right? Because next turn, go 1, 2. I mean, we're just going straight to combat. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll leave this guy untapped. So we're attacking with one. Oh, and a land, our little land creature. So probably we got 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers that likely are not going to be blocked. You know, I mean, maybe people will gang tackle your commander. Just don't attack that person. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 draw triggers, and we're blowing up somebody's artifact or enchantment with the Kogla. And we're going to do that every turn. So we've got... now think of how bad this would suck if we didn't have this guy in play. Or if... well, yeah, basically if we didn't have this guy in play. But this guy too. You know, this guy's going to help too. So 1, 2, 3, 4 draw triggers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Well, we don't have a tutor, but we've got, like, lots of card draw. 1, 2, 3... No. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. This thing's busted, and this is a good way to help clear the battlefield and make sure that you can get through with your Mad Hatter, with your Johnny the Bum. We're gonna add a Boo token, and we're gonna put a bunch of counters on him, and we're gonna click this guy up. Yeah, Minkskin Boo, the real Minkskin Boo is fucking busted. So now we can discard a creature card to find an infinite mana combo. That's probably what we would find. We would get, let's see. So how we've got different options here, but one of the things we could do is we could discard the Orcish Lumberjack and find Hyrax Tower Scout, which we've already got the Kogla the Ape Titan in play. So we could use the Kogla the Ape Titan and the big mana dork. Karametra's Acolyte would make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this thing would tap for 10 mana. So we discard this guy to get the Hyrax Tower Scout. And then when we get the Tower Scout and this guy in play without Summoning Sickness, how do we lose? We get infinite mana. We've got all kinds of card draw. We're going to be drawing a ton of cards off of our Oran Frostfang. And because of our commander, being able to grind this way is simple because we're able to untap all of our lands multiple times per turn. We're drawing cards. So we'd be drawing on our next turn 1, 2, 3, 4, reasonably 5 And then we would, so that's 5 cards there. And then also we'd be able to use the mink skin boo. We could chuck this hamster at somebody's face or something we need to remove and draw 4 more cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably would leave that untapped next turn. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, what does that look like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going places, guys. The deck is cool. It's fun, it's powerful, and it's cool. But more than anything, it's fucking festive on Turkey Day. Turkey Day is a lot of fun for you, but remember, it's not as much fun for the fucking turkeys. You Hannibal Lecter sons of bitches. All right, that's the video, guys. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Word to your mothers. East side until I die. We're going to scrape in right just under this 59 minutes. Maybe I'll find something to cut out of the video that sucks as much as you cannibal motherfuckers do. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be one of those annoying... it's just who I am. Embrace it, right? Embrace it. I made peace with myself being an asshole long ago. I recommend you do the same now while we're still early in our relationship. Word to your mothers. Namaste, bitches.